This mess is driving me crazy. Crazy.
Rafi's Rambles, Rafi's Rambles, Rafi's Rambles.
Hola, you amazing artist, and welcome to the disaster zone that is our studio. The studio itself and our apartment is kind of a manageable mess. Recently, because we're moving, I went and got a bunch of my artwork that I had around town, so now there's a bunch of artwork everywhere. And so the entire apartment has pretty much turned into an obstacle course of creativity, which is just making this whole thing a little bit more troublesome. Luckily, pretty soon we'll be moving into our own space, our own bigger space, you guys. Yeah! Maybe, hopefully, soon. I know that a lot of you guys are curious about the house hunt and all that stuff, and we will be making an official announcement once we know what's going on with it, because we're still in the process, which I like to call the hurry up and wait process. You can see I'm editing videos right now, kind of living vicariously through our past selves, editing the video from being on the road, and it's giving me something to do while we play the whole waiting game with the house, because that part of it is driving me crazy. People need to approve things before we can move forward, which drives me crazy because it's a lot like dealing with the art world and you have to go through gatekeepers and all that stuff. And you guys know that as a rogue, that's just not my jam. So I'm actually having a difficult time with the whole house buying process. I'm not anal retentive, but like just being surrounded by stuff like this, and I know that it's probably going to take weeks for the closing to happen. By the way, if you hear sounds in the background, I do apologize. It is raining, and yeah, it's just raining all the time here in Florida. Yeah, I'm not going to give you guys the location just yet, but I do want to tell you about the new opportunities that are going to open up for us with having a little bit more space. Actually, a lot more space. Before I do that, I want to give you guys some quick updates. First update is for everybody that pre-ordered my books on Indiegogo. I want to update you guys and let you know what's going on with that. So last month, before we left on this trip, I released a pre-order to everybody that pre-ordered it on Indiegogo so that you guys could give me a review. It's a first draft. A lot of great feedback from you guys on the books, on areas that it could be tweaked, areas that are good, areas that really spoke to you, areas where maybe I could explain myself a little bit better in the way that I do the things that I do when it comes to marketing myself and the way that we handle our money and all that stuff. Really, thank you for the feedback to everyone that gave me feedback on the book, because marketing and dealing with money as an artist is such a slippery slope. It's such a tricky thing that I want to make sure that all the information in this book is easy to understand, that it's practical, that it's fun, so that you're not dealing with like, this is the way that you do marketing. So again, thank you guys. Originally, the plan was to get back and work on the book and release the copies before we did the full move, but with the leak that happened in the studio, that kind of upturned all of our plans, and right now we're sitting in a studio that is closed up. We've got no orders coming in, everything is shut down, and we are basically doing this waiting game where we're waiting around to see when it is that we could get into the new location so we could open the studio back up and all that stuff. So if everything goes according to plan, my plan is to release the pre-order books at the end of November or beginning of December, and the audiobook will soon follow after that, because I'm going to actually have a writing room, which is amazing. More on that soon. But also, I'm going to have a recording booth, which is amazing for the audiobook, but more on that soon. The next announcement is for everybody that listens to our podcast. Obviously, if you listen to our podcast, you know that we haven't posted something in quite a while. And that's because, honestly, the situation has been kind of tricky in here for recording, which we're going to have did I mention we're going to have a recording booth? So as soon as we get moved in and everything gets set up, our podcast is going to return and be awesome. We might post like a few podcasts here and there, but they're going to be very sporadic, kind of like the videos on this channel. And speaking of this channel, we've been getting emails with a lot of great questions from you guys. Please keep them coming. The videos are going to be a little bit sporadic on here, like I announced in my last video. But we are reading them, we are archiving them, and we are getting them ready for recording, which, by the way, I am super excited about the opportunities that we have for doing the stuff that we're going to do. So let's talk a little bit about what's going to happen, because this is what I'm really excited about. I don't have any pictures that I can share with you, so unfortunately this is just going to be a talky rambling video, so hopefully you don't mind that, because that's what you're going to get. So many of you may not know this, but we actually live in a very small apartment, and we've maximized the space to basically be a art studio with a bed, a kitchen, and a bathroom. That's pretty much what we live in. If everything goes well, we are moving into a space that is going to be about 4.5 times larger than what we are in now. Instead of having everything in one room just crammed in together, we are going to have a full art studio. It means that our kiln and different equipment like a lapidary machine and different things that we've had, they are going to go out of storage and they're actually going to get used. It also means that I'm going to have a writing room. It means that we are going to have a media and music room with a sound booth.
Okay. You're in love. I'm in love.
It means that we are going to have a sewing room. Basically, it just means that we have a larger space where we are going to have a complete creative playground, which this has worked for us over the years, but there have been limitations from the get-go with the size of things that I could work on, and just different things that were roadblocks, certain equipment that I just could not get. And there's a lot of projects that just kind of got put on a back burner that I wasn't able to work on because I just don't have the space here. The other news is that because we're moving into a completely different area, chances are that we're going to have to hit the ground running, and there's going to be a lot of experiences that maybe we haven't had in a while because, we're pretty established here in town. I'm actually very excited about facing some of the new challenges that are going to come up and being able to share how it is that we overcome those challenges, going into new markets and approaching different cities and different areas where people just don't know who we are. We don't have a reputation there. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun for me. I always love those challenges where we go into a place and people are like, I have no idea who you are. You're nobody. And I think that's awesome. I can't wait to do that. The reason I'm filming this video is because I have absolutely no self-control. And I really want to show you guys all the stuff. But the thing is that we're just not ready yet. And I don't want to get ahead of myself. So once we move, you'll get a proper tour of the house. You'll probably see the studio getting built, new spinning easels getting built, the sound recording booth, the sound area. We're going to have a media and music room that is going to be dedicated to doing these videos and recording our albums and different things like that. I am so excited about the possibilities when it comes to the art that I create, when it comes to our music, when it comes to these videos, just knowing that we're going to have the space to be able to do the things that we love doing without trying to just do it all in this one tiny cramped space. I know that in of itself comes with its challenges, but I'm looking forward to those challenges because honestly, I'm a little bit over the challenges that we've been experiencing here. Just in case this channel goes a little bit quiet, just know that that's what's going on. And if you miss us, you can go over to the Adventure channel and watch the adventure as we go and get the house. The next video is going to be Mothman. Here's a preview of that. Don't know how I feel about this. Mothman, come and get Clee. Tune in next time and stay in a turn-of-the-century hotel. Enjoy some beautiful art and go with us on our hunt of the Mothman. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And the video that follows that is actually going to be us looking for a house. You're going to be able to go with us looking at different places, and basically you get to follow us as we look and see which places were perfect for us as far as all the creative things that we want to do. I just want to scream it out from the mountaintop, but at the same time I don't want to jinx it because it's not there yet. So send us as many good thoughts as you possibly can. We would absolutely appreciate that. There is so much excitement for what's to come that I'm exploding at the seams. So yeah, and that's basically it. This video is a rambling update of enthusiasm and excitement because that's what I'm feeling right now. You guys have no idea how much it means to me that we have a creative rogue family that basically is from all around the world that are following these two dorky artists that just are trying to figure stuff out along with everyone else. So thank you so much. And I want to give a big special thanks to our patrons for being there for us, for supporting us as we were out on the road, for live streaming with us, and just being a force for change in moving forward in the future. You guys, honestly, my biggest thanks goes out to you. And we'll keep you updated. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of insights in dealing with insecurities and whatnots in making big changes, because that's what's going on. But yeah, I look forward to sharing all that with you and our next creations. Our creations are going to be awesome. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, you guys. You guys are amazing. Mwah.